There's a saying in our markets, making the first 1 lakh rupees is very tough. Okay, it takes a lot out of you to get that first 1 lakh rupees made in markets. But once, okay, you make that first 1 lakh, the second 1 lakh will come faster. And the third 1 lakh will come even more faster. And gradually, okay, it becomes easier for you. Just making that first one is the difficult thing. Once you, okay, you get over that, okay, things, okay, will work out for you. But for that, you'll have to, okay, put in that work. So we had another IB bar which came up over here, right here, 24,236, and again, okay, we saw movement, okay, above this 24,236. So this was activated, and 24,174, okay, became the stop of the trade. So two things are happening over here. One is, okay, your bias, okay, is becoming clear. If you short, okay, when you see a IB bar, your short calls or your long puts or your short futures, you are losing money, okay, because price is going against you. So first thing, okay, you do, you prevent yourself from going wrong. And 90% of the traders, okay, do lose money because they have no idea when to be long, when to be short, when to be sideways. So first and foremost, okay, what you're doing is you're eliminating mistakes from the market. You're eliminating wrong choices from the market. You absolutely should know, okay, what is the correct bias. Today, okay, we're just going to train our focus, okay, on understanding one element of that chart, which is the IB and IS signals. And the easier way to do it for a number of traders is to focus, okay, on that. Just let me explain to you that whenever these bars show up, they tell you, okay, that there is a change happening in the market. Some people, okay, who have come in and pushed in aggressive market orders, like all these greens over here, large sizes. And this bar has to be treated very differently, okay, from the other bars in the market. So I'm just focused, okay, on the role of these IB bars. If I'm just focused, okay, on these bars, okay, where these IB bars have come, I'm opening myself up to a lot more possible, probable, good trading opportunities in the market.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. A quick sound check. Am I audible? Great. Welcome to this 5 p.m. session of Thursday. And today's topic for our session is how to use the line charts features we have on Vtrender charts. So you have the default candlestick chart, which you can get from the menu. And this is a recently added feature and which is very important. So this chart, and then we will also have a quick run of how we could have used this information for today's latest market data. So these are not just simple candlestick chart, but it is giving a lot of inside information of every candle. So what we have on the chart is your normal open, high, low, close. So as per that, the color of the candle is red or green. And then we have our market profile nuances. We have the VWAP and we have the POC. This white bold line is the POC. And this green line is the VWAP of the day, which are important references we track during the intraday live markets. And this dotted line is the initial balance high and low. The dotted yellow lines at both the ends are the initial balance, the first hour range, high and low. And the brown line is the OI line, and this is what we have in the upper column. Then we have two at the bottom. There are two panes. The first pane is giving you the COT. COT is a proprietary tool which we give lot of importance, and whenever we want the market to move in one direction, we would want the COT to support that. And then the lower panel has got the volumes of the bar. So we just don't look at volumes under the bar, but we also want to know what is happening inside the bar. So because of which we have these order flow signals which are printed. I'll just zoom in, and we can make out how we can differentiate which candle has got initiative buying and which is a responsive one, which is a initiative selling candle. So these bars which are shaded in yellow with a star at the bottom are initiative buying bars. So you can know, you can in one look, in one screen, you can see what has happened in the entire day. You have the option of selecting the time frame. You have 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15 and 30. So on the 3 minute, by default we have the 3 minute time frame. In the 3 minute time frame, we can see how many IB signals came in the day and how much of follow up we got through the IB. And then whenever we are getting IB, was the COT supporting it? So here you can see how the first signal of today, the IB bar was a big one. It came right at the VWAP, and the COT was also green. So this was telling us that the buyers have come in. Similarly, if we see yesterday's close, we got this IS bar, which could definitely be profit booking after this IB came in and we came back above VWAP. We had a neutral extreme profile to the upside, and then we saw a lot of red caught into the close. So in one screen, the candlestick chart gives you all the information, which otherwise you would have to scroll back and forth in a order flow chart. And whenever we are getting a good signal, we would want the volumes also to be good. So you see the volume pane is very important for this. In this panel controls, you have the option of selecting or changing what you want. You can have the COT or the DOI or the volume, and you can select which layer to have what. So for futures, we have the COT, and when you're looking at options, it is better to have the OI, OI and the DOI data. So because I'll take you to an options chart also where we can see how that helps us and how we can uh, know what is happening in that particular options using this candlestick chart. So what we do here is we look at where we are getting the IB, and if we are getting an initiative buying bar, we would want the buyer to hold above the VWAP of the day, and then we see the POC. So today's case, if we take, we opened lower. It was understandable because the neutral extreme profile does not give a follow up, and the lower open took support right at the VWAP of yesterday. 23129 was yesterday's VWAP. So we did not get any IS bars at the open. Although we opened lower, courtesy this selling IS bar, we did not get fresh supply here. So once we took support at the previous day's VWAP, we were always looking for a probe higher to the POC of yesterday, which was at 23199. So when this came in the IB bar, this IB bar at VWAP is a very good signal to go long because it is supporting. You're getting a big green IB bar, and which is coming at the VWAP, and with the COT is also supporting. So once you get into this setup, only thing is you will have to book part once your risk RR is met, and then you will have to trail at cost. So how do we know using this candlestick chart that the longs are done or that it may start to exhaust? The shift of POC which happened in this 10-15 period is clearly telling whatever longs were coming in can may have booked profits. Yes, we were above VWAP all the day, but we needed fresh demand to come in to take us higher. But instead, what we did, we continued to form a balance around this POC of 280 and closed as a P-shaped profile. So you can see how we did not get much signals here. We did get this IB bar in the G period, but what happened immediately, that IB low broke, and then we remained back in a narrow range. And you can see how the volume is showing us very low participation. Hence you don't have that confidence of more upside coming in. If you get an IB bar with this high volume bar at the bottom and the COT is also green, then you will definitely look to take a fresh long position. So this is how you look at the candlestick chart, and you can get a entire day's view in a single screen. And what you can also do, you can change the time frames. You can also have the 30-minute candlestick chart. And if you want to trade both the time frames, there is a very easy method to do so. You can have the dual window mode with the 30-minute on one side, which is showing you what is happening on the bigger time frame. Left, and what we saw yesterday, we got a couple of IS bars on the 30-minute bar. I'll just zoom this up. So you can see how we are getting these IS bars. The first IS bar which we got on 21st at 2:15, that was a good one. We got some good volumes and the cot was also good, nicely red. So till the time we were holding this IS high, we probe lower, and on the 3-minute we wanted to look at IS, fresh IS signals which can give us a fresh entry into the trend. So similarly, yesterday's IS bars, you can see although we got consecutive IS bar, they came on very low volumes. So when this happens, when the market is falling on low volumes or market is rising on low volumes on an IB or an IS, you will have to be circumspect about the extent of the move, because volumes precede range. So volumes, the higher the volumes, the bigger can be the range. Hence, what happened yesterday, because these were low volume IS, they got taken out by this big green bar, which had more volume than the IS bar. And that is the reason we got the neutral extreme close yesterday. So we have this excellent feature of using the dual window mode. You can have two time frames on this. In case you are using Nifty, you're trading Bank Nifty and Nifty, you can have Nifty on one side and the Bank Nifty on one side. And you can follow both the auction in a single screen. So we have the Bank Nifty 3-minute order flow on the right, and we have this live panel which gives you all the details. You have the IBH, IBL, you have the 10 bar cot, and you have the volumes. You can want, if you want, you can just minimize this and you can just concentrate on the signals. So this is the Bank Nifty. You can see Bank Nifty was having no signals today. It had this one IS bar, after which we remained below the IBH all day. So it was more a consolidation phase. Then Bank Nifty, we didn't get any IBs, but in Nifty, once we got this IB, the probe was to the upside, and we did get that move in the first hour, after which we consolidated for the rest of the day. So this is as far as the futures are concerned. Let us have a look at the option chart. And as I mentioned in the option chart, DOI gives us a very good information about what the option writers are doing. And it is very important to know what the option writers are doing, because we can get some good trades. And in case the writers go upside down, or we can also set ourselves up for a range bound day and know which of the option is being written, and accordingly uh, expect the range to be a narrow one. So I'll give you the example of both. You have the 23,000 call chart of Nifty of today. You can see how yesterday the OI was rising. This brown line is the OI, and the POC shifted lower. You can see the shift of the POC, which was around 180 to 111. And then we got that probe above VWAP into the close, and you can see how that probe above VWAP and this POC shifting of the POC and the probe above VWAP started to get the OI down. You can see this fall in the OI, and then you can see the DOI showing you only reds. So this is very uh, easily and very importantly telling you, and you can also see how the volumes also have started to increase from this time, from the time it has got above VWAP. So this is a classic example of how the call writers were forced to cover, because yesterday we were looking at more downside. So when this move came, all these call writers of 23,000 were forced to cover, and you can see that drop in the OI and move above the VWAP, and we went on to close around this 180 mark. So what happened today again at the morning, we opened lower, we can see green OI here. So writers were coming in, but this IB bar which we saw even in the Nifty futures, so this completely changed the scenario. Whatever call writing was done in this was immediately forged out. You can see this big red card, and once this happened, this is how you can see what is happening in the option chart. You can use the DOI to know if the option writers are building in. Like for the next example which I want to show, this is the 23,000 call. So here you can see how what happened in the morning. After this open, we probed higher. In fact, we made this high in the GP rate. But after this, the call writer started to come in this 23,200 call. How can we know this? You got IS plus IS on the 3 minute. So this is very easily telling you IS plus IS is a very strong signal, and the second IS is at VWAP. And you can see how the POC is also shifted to this 54. So from this, the writers, the call OI started to build up, and it saw some huge entry later in the day in the K period, and they forced it from 55, it dropped to 30, and from 30 then it went on to drop to 2.3, I think was the low before it closed at 5. So this one screen shows us where the option writers are entering. The signals are very clear. So you have a combination of everything. You have the OI. So today, if you are looking at any Dukan trades, you would definitely not look at this CE, because you've got an IS plus IS signal, and we are below VWAP, and the option writers are building interest in this. So this is how you know what is happening, and you can trade of them. Another example of the option chart is this 23,200 put. After the lower open, you can see the IS bar has come right in the open 930 bar, where we got the IB in the Nifty futures. We have got this big IS bar at 933. So this is where the option writers got in very strongly in this, and you can see how the OI line has just been going higher and higher in this. So this is very clear. Once you see a strong IS signal at the open, you know that this is going to be the support of the day. And the candlestick chart is it is not just showing you the open, high, low, close, but it is also showing you that it is an initiative selling bar, and it is coming with increase in OI. You can see the DOI also increasing, and you can see the option is stayed below VWAP all throughout, and the OI continues to rise. So when you're seeing this kind of a scene, and if it is happening the opposite in the call, you know it is going to be a trend day. So this is how you can make use of these charts. One more way of what you can do is, you can again have a dual window mode, and you can have the line chart on one side and the market profile chart on the other. Preferences are in using market, see what is happening at that particular reference. So I'll just switch this to the 5. So this is, I have the 23,000 call market profile chart on my right, and the same candlestick chart which we were watching on my left. So you can see yesterday is at 131, and the POC of that call was much lower at 101, and we saw that when we were discussing the line chart about how the writers got stuck and they had to cover up. So just like in Nifty futures, we had the VWAP as an important reference. This was also an important reference in the option. So at the open, we were consolidating around that VWAP of yesterday. You can see this green line, and we always remained above this POC. So in market profile, we look for a move away from previous value. So the previous value area high was this 165. So once you get this move and you can see how this IB bar on the 3 minute has come right at this value area high. So once you're seeing this IB at previous value area high is a eyes closed trade to take. You enter this trade and you will look for the auction not to get back into this value as your first reference, and it did not. And it also gives you probable targets, because this VWAP from 21st was an important profit booking point. So it was important that you know about this reference and you make sure the long you have taken, you definitely book some profit at this point. And then as you go higher, you will get the higher market profile references, and for that you will need to get more IB bars in the 3 minute order flow. So this is how you can make use. This is one way of making use of the market profile and the candlestick chart. Another way you can do it is you can have the candlestick on one side, and you can have the order flow on the other. So whichever is screen, you can both the option put in the call market profile as well as line chart or the order flow chart with you. So what I have done now is I've got the candlestick chart on my left and the same order flow chart of the same instrument on my right. So what information we are getting in this is same. So you can see the entire day's auction in the candlestick on the left in even the half screen mode. But for order flow, you can see how you will have to probe and go back to see what happened at 9:15. We also have this wonderful feature where you can go to the you can use start the order flow. So here you can see how this was the opening order flow, and you got zeros at this 150, and this is where we got that IB bar. And you can see how the 130, the VWAP of previous day, which was one important reference, was being supported. And as I mentioned, that 165 previous day's value was what you were looking to be taken out, and you've got this big 6,000 contract buyer, and the POC of this IB bar has shifted right there. So it gives you that confidence that as long as this is holding, you can look for more upside. And then you just go on to make these highs. The 232 VWAP from 21st was one reference which we had to book profit. That is why you can see the auction stalling a bit here. And then when it went on to make those new highs in the G period, as the low of that IB bar got negated, it was time for coming out of this long trade. So this was that IB bar. So you can see how you can differentiate. This is a similar good green IB bar, and this is a A quick sound check. Am I audible? Sorry, guys. I think by mistake the mute was on. I hope the sound is back now. So yeah. So this is very useful. The line charts are very useful in options, and the best signals which you get. In fact, if you are trading in futures and options, you can have the futures order flow in one, call or the put in the other. So the best trades come when both the futures and options give you the trade. So if you're getting an IB in futures and you that is reflected by an IB in the call also, it is a very good signal that you need to make use of. And we have mentioned this many times. I have the futures chart on my left. You can see how the IB at 933 showed us an IB in the call also. And we also had a look at the 23,200 put where we got that big IS at the same time. So when you have a combination of these things happening where you get an IB in the futures, you get an IB in the call and an IS in the put, you know that signal is a very strong one. That signal is which you need to take with your full position size, because that is one of the best trading setups you will get, most confident setup. So and the same thing, if I would have put the 23,200 put, you could have seen at the same time when you get an IB at the uh, VWAP in the futures, you would have got an IS in this 23,200 put. So it tells you which strike is being written. And if you're an option seller, you can look to in fact, you can see how this had started to be written even yesterday from 2 o'clock. So from 2 o'clock, we have got two IS, and then the third IS came in here. And at no point of time, we have gone above the highs of the last IS. And then this 930 IS came along with this IB bar in Nifty Futures. And this was like the uh, confirmation that 23,200 will hold in spot today. So this is how you can make use of these line chart. They are very useful, and you get, as I mentioned, you get the initiative buying signals and the initiative selling signals, which is what we want our trades to be based out of, because we want to be with the initiative guys. The RBs and the RS are also printed. You can see this star, just a star at the lower end with a candle is giving you an RB signal. And if you get the star at the top, it will give you an RS signal. The RBs and the RS are telling you that old business is coming out. So RBs and RS are candles which are telling you to either book out your position or trail. So we always look to trade in the direction of the IBs or the IS, and then we look at COT to support that view. And then we have the OI and the volumes, which will tell us, especially in options, it gives us a very clear view. When you get an IS and then the option is below VWAP and the OI is rising, you know this option is being written. So whenever we saw that how yesterday the writers were forced to cover because it came back above VWAP with an IB bar. So when that happens, that will result in a Dukan trade, which you can keep a track when you are watching these candlestick chart. So you just need to know where the POC and the VWAP of that option is, and whenever you get an IB signal on any time frame, as per that time frame rules, you can take a long position once you get the. And we have different time frames, so you can look to select which time frame you are comfortable and trade as per that. You can also have the 30-minute on one side and 3-minute on the other side, as I mentioned, and look for what is happening, especially at the market profile references. So, which is the reason we have the POC. Shifting of POC is telling us the change. There is a change of control. So you need to get in sync and remain in sync. For example, today when the Nifty futures POC shifted from the lower point to the top, it was a very clear indication that some of your longs are very. You need to book out most of your longs and trail it to a fresh trailing stop loss. And as I mentioned, you have this panel control where you can look at changing what you are seeing, and as per your need, you can have even the bottom panels can be changed. So this is it for today, guys. We wanted to cover up what all features are there in the line chart. It is not just the open, high, low, and close, but also a lot of other data which actually helps us to uh, tell whether you take a trade or no, because you have green bars all over here, green candles all over, but this initiative green bar is the one which makes the difference, which gives us the signal. Similarly, this initiative selling bar tells us that if you were long yesterday, you have to book out. In fact, some aggressive traders had carried puts today, seeing the cot and the IS yesterday, and they closed at the open today because we did not get any follow up IS. So if you have any queries, you can post them to us. You can DM me on X. My ID is at Uttam Goel. It is open. And you can also mail us at support@vtrender.com. We'd be happy to get your feedback and also answer your queries. So thank you guys for joining in. Signing off for today, and let's catch up next week, and wishing you a great trading day tomorrow.